Tonight, U.S. military and intelligence officials warn ISIS is trying to make a comeback. After a successful U.S.-led campaign dismantled the terror group's so-called caliphate, tens of thousands of ISIS members were taken to prisons and camps. This week, ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi called on supporters to liberate their detained brothers and sisters in the camps, where many foreigners are kept.
Where are you from?
From Russia.
From Russia.
Over the last several months, NBC News has been given extensive access to the Al-Hol camp in northern Syria. Here, around 70,000 people, including wives and children of ISIS fighters, are loosely guarded with nothing to do. Many still fiercely loyal to ISIS. When I asked a group of women and children if ISIS was finished, they hurled insults and water bottles at me and held up a single finger representing the one true God. In the camp, I met Hoda Muthanna, an ISIS bride who claims she now opposes ISIS.
What happens to all these other people in the camp? Do you think they're still dangerous?
It's obvious who are still radical, who are still dangerous.
Today, President Trump says he wants ISIS members here returned to their home countries, mostly in Europe. But their governments are refusing to take them back.
They can try them, do what they want. And at some point, I'm going to have to say, I'm sorry, but you either take them back or we're going to let them go at your border. But they came out from...
So, Richard, whether the president can in fact empty those camps, there is real reason to be concerned about them.
Absolutely. This is a ticking time bomb. You have tens of thousands of people who are still committed to the ISIS ideology, herded together, nowhere to go, no hope for their future. There's very little way that this could end well.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.